Hey guys, and welcome to Dainty Bite. If you love tiramisu, you're gonna absolutely love this cake. It is everything you want. It's moist, it's light, it's delicious. This cake is so special. I made it to honor my father and my biggest fan who passed away less than a month ago and would have been his birthday today. Let me show you how to make this great cake and let's get started. First things first, I start with the dry ingredients, measure them and set them aside. 90 grams of cake flour, a quarter cup of Dutch roasted cocoa, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I set them aside and I prep a double boiler. That means there's a pot of simmering water, and I'm gonna add to that the mixing bowl with 6 large eggs, 65 grams and up. I add to that 3/4 cup of sugar, 160 grams. The water in the pot shouldn't be touching the mixing bowl, and I keep on whisking until all the sugar dissolves. And the best way you can tell is feel it with clean hands. If there's no sugar left, that means it's ready for the mixing bowl. I mix it on high speed and it should triple in volume, just like you're gonna see right now. It's gonna become much lighter and thicker. It's gonna form these ribbons on top of the batter. I'm gonna sift the dry ingredients on top of it and gently fold in everything. I take my time and I fold gently using a whisk or a rubber spatula. I don't want to deflate the batter. Keep on folding and mixing very gently. Now I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 teaspoons of coffee liqueur. Finish mixing and now we're ready to bake the batter. We're gonna bake at 350 for 30 minutes. I have the cheesecake pan lined with parchment paper. I greased the sides with butter and flour. And now it's ready. I add the batter and I bake. The cake is out of the oven. It's looking perfect. It's very light and spongy. I let it cool completely before working on it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna start making the tiramisu filling, starting with the sabayon. And it's basically some sugar and eggs cooked over a double boiler. I want the sugar to cook completely and dissolve. I'm gonna keep on whisking. It's gonna become lighter in color and thicker. I have exactly 5 egg yolks and a half cup of sugar. Be careful, you don't want to cook the eggs, so the water in the pot shouldn't be touching the bowl with the eggs. When the sugar dissolves completely, I'm gonna set it aside to cool a little bit and I'm gonna work on the heavy whipping cream. To a clean mixing bowl, I add 2.5 cups of very cold heavy whipping cream. I mix on high speed and make sure not to overmix the heavy whipping cream. I'm also gonna flavor the heavy whipping cream with coffee liqueur and some vanilla extract. And I always leave all the amounts and all the ingredients in the description box below, so check it out. I add 8 ounces of cream cheese or mascarpone cheese, whatever you have at hand. You're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 tablespoon of sugar, granulated sugar. Your cheese needs to be room temperature, and what we're doing is just mixing it in and whipping it a little bit before adding the heavy whipping cream. You're gonna mix in the heavy whipping cream, fold it in, and make sure all the mixture is well incorporated. And now you're gonna fold in the sabayon, the egg mixture. I tell you, this filling is amazing. It's worth the effort. And if you follow all the tips and tricks and make sure the cream cheese is room temperature, you'll get it right the first time. The cake is cool to the touch. I remove from the pan and I'm gonna cover it in plastic wrap, place it in the fridge. It's easier to slice when it's cold. Meanwhile, I'm gonna work on some decoration to top the cake. I'm writing 2 words in Arabic to express how much I miss my dad. He used to think I have nice handwriting, so this is for you, Dad. And it means I miss you. The last component for this cake is the espresso. And here I have 5 ounces of espresso. I'm gonna sweeten with a little bit of sugar. 2 teaspoons is quite enough. I add more coffee liqueur and I mix. And the cake is out of the fridge and everything is ready to go. I'm gonna assemble everything. I'm gonna slice the cake into 3 pieces. If you like my recipes and want to see more, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my recipes. And follow me on social media. The links are going to be in the description box below. Now I'm going to assemble everything. 1 layer goes on the plate. I add a generous amount of the espresso all over the cake. The best way to do it is with a brush. Add a generous amount of the cream, spread it evenly, and repeat the process 3 more times. Before adding the second layer, I sprinkle with a little bit of cocoa powder. Trust me on this, it's gonna add so much good flavor. And I'm using Dutch processed cocoa. It's much sweeter and I like it better in this cake. This cake was a hit. If you're a coffee lover, you're gonna absolutely love this cake. It is so light and moist and good. Here we're repeating the same process until we finish the 3 layers. You're gonna try to smooth the edges as best as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm decorating with some chocolates that I made earlier. I'm cutting them up into small pieces and placing them randomly to represent a mosaic. I added gold dust to some for a little bit of contrast. Now I'm gonna work on the art that's gonna go on top of the cake. Let me show you how I'm gonna do it. I wrote the letters on parchment paper. I flip it on the other side, add a touch of vegetable oil, place the clear plastic sheet on top of the parchment paper, and I'm gonna fill it with the chocolate that I melted and I tempered earlier. I finished the 2 words that I want to do and I place it in the fridge to cool faster. It's gonna look great on top of the cake and it means something to me. It's a message that I'm sending to my dad that I miss him so much. When the chocolate is hard and cold enough, it's gonna flip with no problems on top of the cake. This is what I do. I remove the plastic sheet and there you go. It's ready for you. You can decorate it a little bit more or you can leave it the way it is. All the cakes I make are a labor of love, especially this one. I hope you try it soon and let me know what you think in the comments box below. And until next time, bon appétit!